Hello, it's the SeahawksFan with another Go Bad League video, and today we got my favorite Master League team, an incredibly overpowered team. Of course, complete zygarde is just a cheat code, and being able to swap into Landorus, not having to shield anything, is fantastic. Even with the attack debuff, we grab a shield off Palkia. Now, if we did have Outrage, that would have definitely been enough for a... well, may have been able to get them to red. Maybe not, but we grabbed the last shield. 2 shields for Dialga Origin. Landorus is here. It does have an energy advantage, which gives it a fighting chance up against Mewtwo. I'm just going to hang on my last shield for Dialga. Going to grab a double Side Strike knockout. About to be almost back to back. We are too low to reach a Side Strike for Dialga. That's fine. They're not going to reach 2 moves, and we're going to not play around. And shield up that Draco, and the Warp Time is going to take them out. Very nice. Now, going to reach a new season high, which I may not be a player who is fighting for leaderboard at this point in the season, but well over the 2200 elo range at this stage of the season is amazing for me. And I mean, this team just wins battles for itself, but I do have to actually play okay at times. And having bad leads like Landorus, although zygarde is just an insane save swap, but they have their own complete zygarde. I see the zygardes. I have no fairies, so Dragon v Dragon or Mewtwo being able to just do its thing does take a lot of Dragon Breath damage. But here we are with a Landorus again, and I can comfortably no shield a Sancia Storm. They let that Side Strike go. Fantabadoozy, because we can let Mewtwo go. We can get the Dragon Breath down. And the thing is, if they get a Earthquake, that is going to be a lot of damage. But I'm not going to throw my energy, because they are unable to reach a Earthquake. After throwing those 2 crunches, they needed just a bit more energy, but they were thwarted. Perfect, best buddy Landorus, and we have a Xerneas. Okay, this is a tricky scenario. Maybe this play, it's not easy. I mean, Xerneas is a big problem, but Earthquake does grab a shield. I mean, they almost always shield up the first move, so I should just bait with Crunch, but it's fine. Shadow Mewtwo comes in. Definitely going to need my Mewtwo. It can put in a ton of work. I have 2 Side Strikes loaded. Are they going to throw a move? They let the Xerneas go. And I'm actually going to leave with 2 Side Strikes. Now, as a Origin Dialga, I'm able to comfortably survive a Sancia Storm. Much better. The power of defense. Going to no shield the Dialga at this point. Now, I'm capped on energy, so I have to throw. And they let the Side Strike go, throwing 2 more fast attacks in optimal timing. 4 turns of fast move versus 5 turns for Incinerate to not make a mistake. Gonna be a little less efficient, but it was not enough to be able to take the win with that terrible Xerneas. It's fine, it happens. This team it does have its weaknesses, and that's okay. But 4-1, that was a phenomenal start. With that set, and we have Landorus getting absolutely bodied by the Zygarde complete. Zygarde, the tankiest, definitely the most useful ground type Although Landorus is fantastic if you do have it. We definitely recommend. And Palkia is here. Palkia is going to get chipped with Crunch. Maybe they commit a shield. They do not, wisely. And dialga scares them into Hoa, which gotta be a little careful. Definitely want them to throw the first move to not make a mistake and give them too much energy. Thankfully, they threw before I was capped on energy. That would have been awkward. But now I can comfortably get these side strikes off. And a third side strike before the next move. Definitely is awkward trying to use Incinerate correctly. And I can just shield. Palkia is not going to get to enough energy for Spatial Rend. Actually, no, it does, but it's not enough for a knockout. Needs a lot more Dragon Breath damage, and Iron Head is plenty for that KO. And that 1 HP Hoa was not prepared to take me out, not even register a Incinerate. This person safe swaps into Origin Palkia. And so often, Double Dragon and Origin Palkia and Dialga, and then Landorus. This dude will do that. Full sends the Spatial Rend to have alignment, which is well played. Shadow Mewtwo comes in with a energy advantage, being able to just command the position up against Landorus. Now, it's actually not a double Dragon team. It is a Mewtwo, Landorus, and Palkia. Not too bad of a team. And they do have Shadow Ball. I miscounted. I thought it was a side strike at most, but it's okay. Because now, Iron Head grabs their last shield. Iron Head number 2 is going to get them low enough because this Landorus is not a very tanky Pokemon. And it does not have the energy needed to throw back-to-back moves. Phenomenal. Next battle, we have a Baxcalibur. I respect the XL Baxcalibur. And they also have the new Fusion Necrozma. And I make the right call. I correctly call the bait, the Dark Pulse. Because they need to pull shields. And most people would be terrified of letting the Moongeist Beam go. But I know better. Honestly, it may not be enough energy charged up on Necrozma. And I do find the Baxcalibur again, and I don't get that crunch off, which is fine. They have Solgaleo, they have Necrozma Fusion, and Solgaleo. I'm going to call that Psychic Fangs. I go for efficiency, and I do let another Psychic Fangs go. But it's fine, I have 2 shields. Now I'm capped on energy, so Shadow Ball goes kaboom, one-shotting the Solgaleo. I have the Side Strike to go straight away after. And they did throw a move. It is going to be enough for knockout. But this Ice Dragon is just not going to compete with the Steel Dragon Dialga. And just to play it safe, if some funny business happened, shielding up easily. And we have another Necrozma Fusion. Dawn Rings Necrozma, this time in the lead up against my Dialga Origin. Do they have the Moongeist Beam? They do not. They Dark Pulse. Now, I could potentially go for my nuke move, but I land the Iron Head to shield. I do, because I want alignment. I'm content with going down to shield, and I needed alignment, because if I brought in zygarde, I would have gotten absolutely nuked. I did make the risky decision to swap, because if they brought in a dragon, they definitely could have controlled the game again. They actually do have Zarude, which, had they just swapped and saved the Tapu Bulu, they had the win in the back. But this level 51 Zarude, I think it is the best buddy equipped. It's too high for a level 50 hundo. Probably not hundo IVs. But I'm actually going to still have Dialga. Going to get extra Dragon Breath damages to force some energy out, which is fantastic because my charge attacks on zygarde are not doing like squat. I even get the defense drop, which is helpful. And they are going to concede, and honestly, the defense drop may have saved me, potentially. We have Groudon. You don't see this very much at my elo because Landorus is just far superior. But there's going to be a video coming out soon with me using Groudon, and it's definitely, it's still got a good Pokemon if it's better than so many non-legendaries still, but at the top of what is the best with these origins and the better Landorus form, the Therian, definitely gets outclassed. But such a useful Pokemon to have for PvE, and it's very powerful. Precipice Blades is just insane. Damage is amazing. But we have this Zarude, another Zarude. Definitely good to have Zarude right now with all the Necrozamas, and Mewtwo still just as good as ever. Groudon does use its last shield. I'm going to call their Fire Punch because they're not going to throw Precipice Blades. And Mewtwo can get the Psycho Cut down. They have their own Mewtwo. Going to let... I could have just no-shielded. It's fine. Before the next Ice Strike, because that's what they're going to try to get. Going to Shadow Ball, one-shot them. And Side Strike is actually plenty of damage. Take out this red health Zarude. Dog types may be immune in the main series games to psychic type moves, but they do still do damage and go. And Yveltal, I was definitely a little wary about potential Focus Blast, so I didn't make a catch. Fortunately for me, but it's going to actually be no Focus Blast, which is nice but annoying because I could have just kept alignment. But it's okay. I'm actually going for the full farm down. I should have just thrown the move straight away just to not waste energy from the Dragon Tail, but it's fine. I will happily get these crunches off. If they throw a move, then they would not have let me get this next crunch off. I may have been able to get that third crunch off had I just thrown straight away, but it's okay. They're yellow health Landorus. They do have some good energy. They actually make a nice catch onto their Mewtwo, the Side Strike, which is fine. I'm going to go for another Side Strike, and then I'm going to pivot into dialga because fast attack pressure at this point, just fine. If they Focus Blast me, well played, and there's still play for my Mewtwo. But it's no Focus Blast, not enough for the one shot. And next battle we have Origin Palkia, which gets absolutely nuked, unless it's best buddy. In this battle, so they bring in their own Origin Dialga, gonna full send. Honestly, should have just gone for the bait and dip. But here I am with Zygarde complete. I do correctly shield the War of Time. That would have been the game in their hands. But here we are with Crunch. They're low enough. They use their last shield. Even though it was only a Crunch, which is not too bad for me. Going to actually be able to put my Dialga in a commanding position. And definitely kind of tricky because, I'm debuffed. This is not going to do as much damage. The Iron Head. Going to bring in my Shadow Mewtwo and going to be a little tricky. But here we are. What can we do? We are going to survive a Sandsteel Storm. And before my next move, before the next move, I charge up to 1. Side Strike is enough for the Palkia, and that was definitely a misplayed game. I was not able to deal with the Origin Palkia. I had such a good lead, but that stopped my 5-0. And season high, 2270. Fantastic. 230 off a veteran, which is, of course, the first goal past ace rank. And now we have a Tapu Bulu, which, I mean, dialga's okay. They have Rhyperior, which is not terrible. I do need to save my Mewtwo for that Tapu Bulu, potentially. I decided to go for a ton of energy. And I should have thrown one sooner, but I am going to take this move. But also I was fine taking the damage because I did not want Tapu Bulu to farm me down because I don't have like anything to throw Tapu Bulu. And that is the biggest problem this battle. The amount of energy on this Tapu Bulu, because it goes for the full farm down. Getting absolutely wrecked. Like, I didn't want to just have the inability to swap, which had I just brought in dialga without getting farmed down, I may have been able to play this out, but my Mewtwo gets nuked by Mega Horn, and I was just like, fair play. And the final thing they did have was Shadow Tyranitar, which, yeah, Mewtwo getting absolutely bodied. Just how it goes sometimes. I respect that fancy team, that spicy team. And now we have a Xerneas to go up against. Going to no shield the Moonblast. They get the attack fault, which is really annoying. Side Strike does grab the knockout. They do have the Palkia Origin. And I'm definitely going to shield. They do get an energy advantage, which is going to help them. I decided to bring in Zygarde complete, and Will-Ho is in a bad position. It needed to align itself into dialga and have Zygarde up against Palkia. Now I can comfortably take whatever move is thrown, and they don't want to debuff themselves, so Sacred Fire it is. But the thing is, I'm able to, just in most efficiency, throwing 3 Dragon Tails before each charge attack, giving least amount of free energy for them. And I'm going to be able to swap into dialga in time. I do shield the Aqua Tail, but they have no shields. So, War of Time kabooms! The Ho! And I still had a very healthy Zygarde. Another Origin Palkia, beautiful lead. We have a Landorus to go up against with the ground type. They are going to go for the debuffs because they need the ASAP. Going to be able to grab a shield even with that attack debuff they dropped on me, which is the power of Zygarde complete. Just makes this thing such a cheat code. They do get me down to yellow. I am lower in percentage of health, but now they are in red like I am. Actually going to no shield, and they are going to win alignment, but it's fine. My Shadow Mewtwo can come in. And I mean, Palkia does not have a good matchup up against me, being that I get 2 Side Strikes faster than Aqua Tails and do so much. Now, shield advantage for dialga. They do have Ho-Oh. Is Ho-Oh going to break the shields and take me out? I mean, I can just comfortably go for Iron Head Chip. Just add a bit extra damage to the Dragon Breaths. And I can grab the last shield to just comfortably be in a commanding position. To shield, I do, because they're not going to get to another move, and I will happily take the Dragon Breath damage onto Palkia. And Aqua Tail's not going to be enough. They need... Yep, just not going to be enough. 1 extra Dragon Breath. They go down. Okay, bad lead up against Zacian. Definitely going to be a tricky battle here. We're going to no shield. They play rough. I mean, Zacian is just such an insane fairy. Can't wait for it to come back in raids. It's been like almost 2 years since it's been in raids, which is just crazy. I do shield Wild Charge, so play with Wild Charge. Now, the thing is, I'm not going to be able to farm down with Dragon Breath. I do pull the last shield. And I'm not going to reach another move in time. I didn't want to swap and then have a Dark type come in to wall me. I try and go for a Psycho Cut farm down. Can I get it? Are they debuffed enough? No. I take a wild charge. What do they have up next? They have a Hoa, which is fantastic. There is play. And they have the Necrozma. The thing is, the Necrozma is not going to reach a Moongeist Beam in time. And I have Crunch, super effective against Dawn Wings Necrozma. Haha, take that Ho-Oh and Necrozma. Take that Shundo, Ho-Oh. Okay, we got a Kyogre lead. Now, I was definitely terrified of a double fairy type backline because that is something I ran. And I definitely should have swapped into my Mewtwo here to just win up against the Xerneas. But I am trying to just play out with dialga. But I do leave. I definitely should have saved the shield. It is only a close combat. I did lose track of the energy, but I can do some big damage with Mewtwo up against Kyogre with Shadow Mewtwo. Side Strike grabs a shield. One more Psycho Cut before the next charge attack, and I kaboom them to yellow health. They do have a move, which is going to be plenty to take me out. Gonna have zygarde come in. And I definitely should have just gone for the charge attack first. But they could have thrown them. Yeah, it definitely was messy with using my last shield. But they take the win to wrap off the video. And still new season high, new elo high. 414132 with this team. 2283. Gained 100 elo with the team. Absolutely phenomenal. Of course, if you see the team, then you should know it's amazing. But subscribe for daily Go Bad League videos. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and with the help of you guys, I can get there. And thank you for watching. Goodbye.